Are you ready for a rewarding career in the electrical industry? Quality Electric of the Coastal Carolinas, QECC, is looking for qualified electricians and electrical helpers to join its Charleston team. QECC offers guaranteed full-time hours, make up to $30 per hour with possible performance bonuses and career growth opportunities. Enjoy benefits like health insurance, dental and vision coverage, 401k plans, and more. If you're a motivated, experienced electrician, this job is for you. QECC is an equal opportunity employer. For all job inquiries, send email to hr@qeccinc.com.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, welcome to We Should Be Better at This. My name is Chris Donovan.
And my name is also Chris Donovan.
I am Eric Leckie. Thank you for coming to We Should Be Better at This. This is We Should Be Better at This. Thank you for listening. I am Chris Donovan.
And we should be better at this. Hey, so if you thought we were acting a little weird, that is because we are doing today's movie is UHF with my all-time favorite person in the world, Weird Al Yankovic.
I'm not in that movie.
You're not?
I'm not your all-time favorite person in the world?
No, you are. I thought you were in the movie.
Oh, no, I'm not in the movie.
Oh, no, that's Michael Richards from Seinfeld. Oh,
Kramer's in the movie.
Kramer's in the movie.
The other racist white guy. I'm not
you.
racist, by the way.
But
Kramer
you are a
is.
white guy. But you're a guy. So, no, honestly, like, if I'm making my list of probably like my top 5 humans on Earth, Weird Al Yankovic is in the top 5.
I agree with you because I know you.
Yeah.
Mine, not my top 5.
No.
My top 5 are like Jennifer Love Hewitt, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Nev Campbell.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I met her once.
Yes, you did.
That's uncomfortable now saying her name.
Yes, it is. But honestly, just because I when I think of him, he just makes me smile. The guy just makes me have joy, right?
He instantly is one of my most favorite celebrities, though, because he isn't serious. I can guarantee he's in a studio recording and trying to get everything down. He's probably pretty serious about his craft, but
he's legendarily like a stickler for like detail and like all that.
He's a perfectionist.
Yeah, he really is.
But the fact that he didn't even try to do his own music really and is like, I can just do this for fun,
right?
And it worked.
He liked the idea of being weird. Weird Al is not a name; it's his lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Like it's who he is.
Exactly. His real name's like what? Jennifer Love Hewitt,
right? He will say that name 27 times during this podcast.
Marty at 6.
But, so he actually studied architecture. He wanted to be an architect. He went up to Cal State San Luis Obispo.
Wow.
Okay. He was studying to be an architect. And what happens is he hears the local radio DJ, and he's kind of like bored with it. Like, he's like, this guy, like, what the hell? He's all, it's okay to be weird. And that was his concept is, it's just more fun to be weird, right? So he started calling in and essentially doing bits and kind of fell in love with the concept of being on the air and like that thrill you get of saying something funny and whatever. So he was doing these weird bits.
So he put himself on the show.
He really put himself on the show.
There are a lot of listeners that do that.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%. So he put himself on the show, and then what happens is the college radio station goes, do you just want to have a time slot? So here's this guy. He's very serious about school, going to architecture, starts playing his own like weird records. He didn't stick to the format.
Oh, nice.
So what I love about it is he really is from the very beginning kind of punk rock. In a way. Like he totally is like, you want to talk about against the grain? Yeah, no. Playing an accordion and singing with a perm hairdo and wearing a Hawaiian shirt. That's about as opposite as you can get from mainstream.
Yeah,
right?
No, and that hair is like, I mean, where and when did that become its own persona?
Because it's never been popular.
No,
like,
I mean, it still looks horrible.
It still looks horrible.
But he still does
But
it.
don't you think it's like he loves part of that the fact that it looks horrible? Like a little bit of him is in love with the fact that you look at that and go, that looks stupid.
There's nobody out there in the world that can say they're close to what Weird Al's like.
Yeah.
He's just him
and I love, so what happened is,
right,
so he's touring and he's doing his thing and he's always wanted to write a movie. And so it's 1985 and he's tooling around with his buddy who is actually his manager, Steve Levy. And they decide, let's start writing our own Jay Levy, excuse me. Let's start writing our own movie. And Weird Al says, I want it to be weird. It has to have what my signature on it, right?
Okay, yeah.
So they start writing this movie, and Weird Al wanted to call it The Vidiot.
The Vidiot.
Video Idiot.
Like Video Idiot?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted to call it the Vidiot, and whatever the name of the Orion Pictures or whatever that put this out said, no, we're going to call it UHF, and he actually hated it. He said that his only regret is that he didn't fight to get a different name for it. But so he spent years writing this. So this is 1989 that it comes out. So he has been written this since 1985.
Yeah.
So everything with Weird Al sounds like it just came out of his ass like 5 minutes ago.
But he put effort into it.
He put a lot of work into this.
Oh, yeah, no. That's what the one thing I took away from the show. I took notes. The one thing was everything was thought out. Mm-hmm. The music in the background that you hear in a grocery store because they're walking through, it wasn't just music in the background because of music. It was like a parody of a song or something. Everything was a parody, even like the noise on like when you enter the store and stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. And I was going to say, so you're kind of an expert in the field of, you've been doing radio for a long time and podcasting, and you understand sound engineering, and you understand that when someone's doing a movie, if they don't have to put that song in there in the background, they don't, because it's extra work. It's extra editing. It's extra mixing. It's extra everything, right?
Everything that somebody thinks is just there.
Right.
Is
was
a lot
there
of
on
work.
purpose.
Yeah.
Right. So you know this just from a sound perspective. So when they're walking through the grocery store, he could have very easily gone with generic canned grocery store, the
lousy music somebody didn't like
that they've used in every single sitcom or whatever. But he's like, no, we're going to throw a little bit of, people won't even notice it, but it's, if you listen really carefully, it's a parody.
Yeah,
it's something.
it is. In UHF, it's the television show. It's a television station that he gets from his uncle.
Yeah,
and
who essentially lost it in gambling.
Yeah, and he I thought the plot sucked, honestly. Yeah. Ooh, my rich uncle gave me a TV station, but for the sake of what it was perfect.
Do you think so? I forget the amount. Once again, we should be better at this. I think it was like $75,000.
$75,000.
Okay,
is what he had to raise.
$75,000 I had to raise. Now I understand that was a lot more money in 1989.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yep.
But in the grand scheme of things, even in 1989, that still isn't a ton. But let's just say you, Chris Donovan, could buy a station for $75,000. Yep. Would you buy a station and just do literally your own content on your own station?
Anything I want. But my biggest question for that is $75,000. He won this station in a bet.
Yeah.
How much was on the table?
I'm guessing a lot.
I know, right? But if he got that and he just gave a radio station to his nephew to play with for fun, and then later in the movie he's like strapped for cash and needs the 75, like what? Like what happened?
There's got to be some big swings,
yeah,
right?
Like you should have just walked away.
Yeah, I think he bet maybe a little too much. So he gets this radio station, and George is kind of I guess you can call him a loser, but he's a weird guy who hasn't found his place yet.
He doesn't fit.
He doesn't fit. All he knows is that he's weird and he doesn't fit. He gets a station and he walks in there and he kind of has no idea what he's doing, and the station's filled with misfits.
Yeah, there's really nobody there. Honestly, it's just nothing. And then what he does is he hires Kramer. Mm-hmm. From the other
which he will always station. Therefore be known as Kramer.
Yeah, he will. Just like Michonne is always going to be Michonne. I don't care what Marvel movie she's in. I don't know her name in the Marvel movies. But no, he basically Kramer gets fired from the other TV station.
The rival TV station.
Correct, which is the bad guy that was also in Inner Space, if you've seen Inner
Yes,
Space.
His name's Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
Does this look like a number 2 pencil?
Yeah, so you're exactly right. Like, so this is one guy gets fired.
Kramer gets fired.
He's weird as hell.
He gets hired over to be the janitor at the other UHF, at whatever station.
My mop!
Yeah.
Let's go. This is station property. No, it's my mop.
And then ends up being the biggest talent on the show because he does like a
Stanley Kowalski's like theme time hour or whatever it is.
Yeah, I can't believe you remember the name. Yeah. I can't remember the name, and I watched it 2 days ago.
Okay, kids, where you want to go?
He's like got a trophy for being the best talent and janitor. But then it just becomes they throw up shit on. I mean, I wrote down a bunch. They just throw stuff against the wall. Like they have Willow Fish. And Long Duck Dong is the host.
And I'll tell you some facts when I get to my facts at the end of the show. I'll tell you some facts about the Wheel of Fish. So we'll get to that later. But you're right. So
Celebrity mud wrestling,
his version of the Maury Povich type show.
Oh, Jerry Springer,
the Jerry Springer type show where he has like the broken nose. And what is it? The Ku Klux Klan guy
lesbian
is like punching
Nazi hookers on Town Talk.
Town Talk. By the way, if you had a Town Talk show right
my
now,
God.
it would be the highest rated show on television.
It would be.
You can put it in prime time.
Oh my God.
So that actually leads us to this point. The stuff that he did in 1989, this was considered weird. It fit the Tim Ward out.
Nobody
it's kind
would
of
watch it.
It's normal television right now.
100%. It could be the Orange County Housewives.
Yes.
It could have been the Kardashians, or it could have been Wipeout.
If
Wheel of Fish.
I could picture him doing one where it's this guy who was an all-time great athlete, then turned himself into a woman and has his own TV show. That sounds
right.
like something weird I would
Did
do.
that happen?
And it's one of the Jenners.
Or yeah, he was an athlete.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
Yes.
you're right. You had said earlier about the thought that went into this and
Yeah,
how
the
everything
thought.
was thought out. Those little inner cuts, they're almost like, it reminded me of very like an MTV type. Like this was made for the MTV generation.
He even hits it on the head with his animated "I want my MTV" in the middle of it.
So it was these quick cuts. Sometimes these jokes were 3 seconds long. He would cut to something that had nothing to do with the movie.
Yep.
There was just an excuse
You're
to do
flipping
it.
through the channels.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so smart.
Yeah, it was really well done.
This movie reminds me a lot of the movie with John Ritter, where he gets that satellite dish in his backyard.
Tuned out? No.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Where they get the satellite dish and
We
they-
literally have
they-
no life,
They
folks.
get stuck in the TV channel, but they're switching through, and it's like wolves on parade, and they got to run from wolves,
Yeah.
and it's like all those parodies. UHF always reminded me of that movie, and I like them both.
Now, UHF was an incredible failure when it came out, too. It was like an
course.
absolute bomb. People weren't really ready for it. But as is a few of these movies that we've talked about, whether they're what we call our TBS and TNT movies.
Sunday afternoons.
Sunday afternoons. UHF became a huge hit on VHS and DVDs and all this kind of stuff because people love kids found this funny and they understood the humor, and then it just has this life of its own. And what's funny is now, for considering how much of a bomb it was and how little people actually know of Weird Al, if my mother knows this movie, my grandmother has heard of this movie, my daughter has heard of it. Like now, every generation knows
Well,
this
it's
movie.
funny you say that because my wife had never seen the movie. She still hasn't seen the movie, so we might watch it when we have dinner tonight because we're recording in my backyard again. But she hasn't seen it. She goes, "What's UHF?" And I'm like, "Okay, hold on, I gotta back.
Wait a second.
What's UHF the movie or what's UHF?
And I can understand you not knowing UHF the
She
channel.
didn't know what UHF was. I'm like, well, back in the day, it's kind of like VHS and beta.
Yeah.
You had a switch on your
TV
antenna to turn it to a different
Folks,
frequency.
I'd like to point out that right now, even though you cannot see it, Chris was using a dial hand to describe the Factotoria dial because
Tune in Tokyo.
we're so old. We're literally so old that we remember having having to turn it to a UHF channel.
I know, right? Remember the remote controls that had like 10 buttons in a row, and they were like, you had to push it in, and it stayed in.
Yeah.
And it made the other button
made a
pop
click
out.
sound. It made a little
the
click
other
sound.
button popped out. That button went in.
So speaking of great
All right.
technology,
Yes.
the guy that works there, Philo, they call him, which is named after Philo T. Farnsworth, which actually wound up being a Futurama character.
He's the guy in the jacket, right?
Yeah, he's the scientist
He's the
guy.
alien.
Yes, he's a scientist.
Spoilers.
Guy. Spoilers. He's a scientist, but that's also named after the guy who invented the TV. So the guy who invented his name was Philo.
Farnsworth was the
Yeah.
guy who invented TV?
Yeah, the original TVs were called Farnsworth. That was like the brand name.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't
Trivia.
work out for him well.
No, it didn't.
No.
Because I think he lost it all. Because back then, like you could invent something and someone would just literally steal it from
That
you and
one
be
guy
like, "No,
stole-
I invented this."
He stole TVs and McDonald's?
Yeah. So he makes all these inventions, and they could spy on the rival station,
Yes.
which I thought was a cool thing. So
It was
basically, what
real-
happens is the rival station doesn't want UHF to succeed, and it's starting to succeed. It's starting to get popular with these weird shows that he has. People are watching it and tuning in and loving it.
And it becomes the #1 station when the ratings come out, and that's when the uncle comes back, and he's like, I got to sell the station because I owe Big Tony $75,000, so if you don't give me the money by this time, I'm going to, so he's trying to sell the
By
station
the way, if your
off.
name's Tony and you're a gangster, don't you pretty much have to be fat? Because I mean, your name's Tony. It's
favorite
a
food's
natural.
spaghetti.
It's a natural nickname is Fat Tony. It's
Yep.
just in every movie about a mob guy. There's a Fat Tony.
Every other outfit has some sort of bib on it,
Yeah.
so when you're eating your spaghetti,
Right.
you don't want to get it on your white shirt.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say that if you're Italian immigrants coming to this country, if you want your kid to stay skinny, don't name him Tony. That's
Or
basically what it comes down to.
Don't be Italian.
Yeah, that's also because Italians are the worst.
Yeah, they always turn out round.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie it goes in there. So then what they do is they try to bring in their audience as the other member to raise all the money for the television station to keep
Yes.
it. So they do
They're
that.
doing a fundraiser, big
and then
fundraiser.
basically it's just like Jerry Lewis's marathon is what
Yeah.
happens. And they have a whole bunch of fun, dumb people doing dumb things, and they raise money. And they kidnap Kramer and
yeah, because this is the #1 show on TV in the area is the Stanley Kowalski's show.
Prime time fun hour.
Yeah, whatever it was. So the rival station kidnaps him.
Yep.
And he's being guarded by gangsters. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie. So he's escaping, and he just goes ninja with his mop, and he just takes everyone out.
He's so funny about that mop.
Yeah, he loves it. I love my mop.
Yeah. When they steal the mop from him, he goes, "That's my mop." Not anymore, boy.
Yeah. Well, like he's totally fine with everything. He when he's being held captive and he's like singing a song.
Yeah,
and the guys are getting really annoyed with him. And then when he's trying to escape, he shoots staples at that guy's face.
In the guy's face later on, the guy picks it out. Yeah. The one funny thing I thought was when they were flipping through the channels, there was one. I mean, they were all like Celebrity Mud Wrestling. All this stuff seemed like stuff you could see.
Yeah.
You could be. There was one on there called Strip Solitaire.
Yes, and it was the midget. His name's Billy Barty. By the way, so Billy Barty, the cameraman.
Yeah,
he is one of the Munchkins from Wizard of Oz.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's one of the Munchkins. He was still an actor. He acted well into his like 90s, I think, before he quit.
Yeah, and now
so he did not have a short career.
Is he dead?
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, little tiny coffin though.
Yeah, cost less. There's some Vern Troyer jokes, but I'm not going to do any of those.
Well, I want to. So, did you know Roger Ebert? This is a famous thing. Like, if you type in this movie into Google, like the first thing that comes up is the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
The second thing that comes up is Roger Ebert's review of this movie because it's one of those movies he called the worst movie of all time.
Really?
He only said it like 5 or 6 times in his career.
And he said UHF is one of them.
He said UHF is one of them, and he basically described it as, "I can't find anything Weird Al does as funny for more than 10 seconds."
So did he stay the entire length of the movie, or did he just
I'm
leave
guessing
after 10
he
seconds?
did. But he actually said in the review if he could have given it a negative star, he would have given it a negative.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like 4 stars or whatever. It's like -1 star or whatever.
That's
so he famously is like absolutely hated this movie.
Well, I mean, back then, bad news was good news.
Well, good news. One of those people are still alive, and the other one's dead.
All right, so basically what happens is they raise enough money. I mean, that's it. They pay off the hitman, and they get to keep the station, and everybody's excited.
Do you think a station like that? Well, we already know it would succeed, but of those shows, which one of those would be the one that you think would be the most successful? The ones that you saw.
Strip Solitaire.
You think Strip Solitaire?
Yeah.
You get celebrities?
Yeah. Celebrities out
you
there.
get celebrities to do it?
And they just play solitaire for 30 minutes.
Tic-tac-toe. They could do almost any game.
But every time they lose clothes. And if they lose enough games in the amount of time in those 30 minutes, they might be topless.
Yeah.
How hilarious would that be?
Hey, we've talked in a previous episode about the new HBO Max channel.
Yeah. Sounds
HBO
like
Max. Yeah, HBO Max. Why don't you just buy out that show idea? Strip Solitaire Celebrity Edition.
I like it.
I mean, honestly, that would be a hit.
We could get every single celebrity, and I use that word lightly, that has been on The Apprentice, that has been on The Masked Singer. They will. Dancing with the Stars. We have celebrities everywhere. Just going out. What we do is we just wait for that show to be over, and we just grab the celebrity and be like, "Hey, want to be on another show?" How funny would that be?
Exactly.
Okay, so other things that happened was at the very end where the bad guy walks up and he's like, it's past the time, and he goes and unplugs the
clock.
Unplugs everything.
Yeah.
He unplugs it all, like the whole system goes down, and then he walks over and grabs the microphone, and the microphone works.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh. See, now that's the one point in these movies you don't necessarily know. Is that on purpose, or was that just one of those things you missed?
I would have to think that that's something that's on purpose.
You would hope, but there were probably a few of those back then. It was the 80s. I mean, what year did this come out? 89?
Yeah. 89? Yeah, 89.
Yeah.
Also, I want you to play a little bit of the Rambo scene. So it's really hard. Obviously, this is pod, so you can't really hear it. But he yells
out of the side of his mouth so much.
But he looks so much like him in that rubber suit, and that kind of became a staple of his performances because he would do all these costume changes into the characters.
I think that also made his hair more prominent when every single character had the same hair. He never really, I mean, not every character, but one rendition of it. The one thing that I did see, which is really funny, which I'll play right here, is the drop with the blind guy trying to fix the Rubik's Cube, and he moves it once, hands it to the guy next to him, now, and the guy goes, no. The guy hands it back to him, moves it again, hands it, now, no, and they do that for like 3 times. That was like the funniest thing, so listen to that.
Is this it? Nope. Is this it? Nope.
Okay, so what about the guy that had the animals? It was like Wild Juan's Animal Kingdom.
And you know what's funny? The guy who did that scene just died literally like last week.
Really?
Yeah, he's like a comedian. He's like a
Oh,
comedian.
yeah. He was throwing puppies out the window.
Oh, my gosh. And so...
Could you imagine if you were doing that now and how PETA would be all up in your balls?
Not be. But he starts... And it wasn't he was trying to test and see if it would fly or
No,
not?
he goes, today we're going to do puppies. We're going to have puppies that fly. And then he throws one and he goes, well, sometimes it takes him a few times.
So he kept throwing more puppies.
And there was a pile of them at the bottom of the window. Yeah. If you did that today, people would be all over you.
Okay, here we go. Get ready and fly! Oh, man. You know, sometimes it takes him a little longer to learn how to do it right.
What was the other notes? You had another one that was...
The table saw guy.
Yes. Okay, so his name is...
gone viral.
Okay, so that's actually... His name is Emo Phillips. Emo Phillips is... so he was really famous in the 80s. He still does some stand-up comedy around, and that's his character.
He didn't he have a movie, like a caveman or something?
Yes.
What was it called? I'll look it up. You keep talking.
So Emo Phillips, this scene is, once again, it's a very visual scene, but he essentially chops his finger off on a table saw, and it just keeps bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. And it's very similar. There's a Saturday Night Live skit where Dan Aykroyd is Julia Child, and he chops his finger. It's the same kind of thing. But it's Emo Phillips' voice and reaction that makes it the funniest.
You believe this? Oh, will you look at that? Oh, just call me Mr. Butterfingers.
He's still working in Hollywood right now. He's not doing a ton, but he's still around. I don't remember where I remember him from, but I remember seeing that scene.
Well, you also remember the haircut. It's the guys always look the same.
But that scene. Yeah. If he did that and just posted it on social media, he would have gone viral.
Yeah,
that's why I'm thinking every single show that was on UHF that
would have made it.
Is on regular TV now.
All right, so I want to read you a little bit of facts about the movie, just some interesting things about the movie.
Okay.
So Spatula City, play that clip.
Spatulas.
Spatula City, we sell spatulas.
And
that's all. Okay, so the Spatula City billboard that you see was a real billboard. Because remember, there's no special effects. They had to really put up that billboard.
Yeah.
They had it up, and it said it confused motorists for months. So it said promoting the outlet shop where folks can go for all their spatula needs. Spatula City billboard was erected for the film's production alongside a seldom traveled highway, but it had stayed there for months. And so what happened is they never took it down.
Okay.
So when the movie's done, they left it. So then people are like, Spatula City, and they would get calls of like, where is this Spatula City?
People were wanting to go to Spatulas. Are you serious?
So and we just talked about Emo Phillips in the table saw scene.
Great.
It said despite his brief screen time as the accident-prone shop teacher, comedian Emo Phillips still receives residual checks from the Screen Actors Guild for his role in UHF. Every time he gets a new check, he puts it out on Twitter, and he gets 30 cents every time the movie airs.
Really?
So every time he gets a check, he's famous for on Twitter. He tweets out a picture of his 30-cent check.
Oh my God, that is hilarious! I need to make something that lives forever and I make money off.
Yeah.
So,
if only kids lasted forever and made you money instead of costing money.
Seriously.
Yeah.
2 of them in the hot tub.
I got a couple right now. So Sylvester Stallone was actually supposed to make a cameo in that Rambo scene. He agreed to appear, but he was going to be like a mirror image of Weird Al in the suit.
Really?
Like Weird Al walks up to a mirror,
and
on the other side it's the real Rambo, and he's looking into a mirror like, yeah, that's what I look like, and keeps walking.
That would have been perfect.
So you talked about the music video with the cartoon music video.
Yeah.
So that was spoofing the Dire Straits Money for Nothing
Chicks
video.
for Free.
So Dire Straits guitarist and singer Mark Knopfler said he would only grant Weird Al permission to use the song and parody it if he got to play lead guitar on the recording of Weird Al's version.
Oh, really?
He goes, I'm actually a huge fan of yours, and I will only let you use the music if I could participate.
If I could play. See, the cool thing about that was huge. That song became huge on
on MTV.
Yeah.
It was giant.
Yeah.
That was everywhere.
And I
it
mean,
was part of a movie.
Yeah. And actually, by the way, Weird Al's videos are seriously, go to YouTube and just type in Weird Al music videos and watch them. They're fun. They're all fantastic.
Yeah, you'll see Wesley Snipes in the bad one. He's the bad guy.
Yeah. So the actor David Bowie, he was like the sidekick that helped him when he purchased the station. It's like his best friend, right?
The sales guy.
David Bowie, when the episode where he's the clown, or the little vignette where he's the clown, and they smash him with the frying pan.
Yes.
Okay. In the movie, George's business partner and best friend Bob, played by David Bowie, takes a frying pan to the face of the Uncle Nutsy's clubhouse. That's what the name of it was.
Okay, yeah. Wait.
The stunt required the pan to stop short of his face, but unfortunately, it made contact and split his lip open.
Oh, awesome.
He never broke character, so the director used that take as the one that they used. So when you see him react, it's because they really hit him with the pan.
Oh, shit, that's awesome.
Okay, so I had mentioned about the Wheel of Fish earlier.
Yes,
okay.
yeah. Wheel of Fish.
Okay, the odor from the Wheel of Fish scene was incredibly unpleasant. So
they use real fish.
Those are real fish secured to a spinning platform. They wanted to use fake fish, but they didn't have the budget. This is a small budget film. It was cheaper to go get real fish. So, and as you can imagine, they said that they were recording these on upper 90s to 100-degree days when they were recording this, and this studio was an outdoor studio to be able to get the lighting. So the fish are just baking, and you know how it is when you're filming stuff. This goes on forever.
Hours and hours.
So it said a mixture of the studio lights, the outdoor lights, the summer weather, and the TV set, and the fact that nothing was air conditioned made it a horrible smell.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, red snapper. It's very tasty.
We didn't talk much about it, but the love interest in here, Victoria Jackson, she's kind of sweet. I like it when she's very squeaky. I like when he's trying to get her back. Play the scene of the answering machine message that he played.
Hi, this is Terry. I'm not home right now, so leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Terry! I'm sorry! Come on, give me one more chance, please! Come on, Terry! Terry! Oh! I'm in hell! I'm in hell! Terry! Terry, pick up the phone! Pick up the phone! Pick up the phone! Oh! Oh, Terry! Please! Oh, Terry!
So that's him begging for her back. And what's funny is, so in the scene, you'll see her covering her mouth.
Yeah.
She's playing it off as if she's crying, like, leave me alone. In order to, once again, low budget.
Yeah.
In order to do that scene, Weird Al stood just off camera and was acting out that scene. But he was being so funny about it, she couldn't keep a straight face.
God, I have to rewatch that.
So when she's doing it, she looks like she's crying, but she's really trying to hide that she's laughing because he's just off camera screaming, "Please, please!"
That is so amazing. And that's funny. See, that's the cool thing. She was on SNL. Do you know she was on SNL?
Yeah, I did.
86
She always
to
had like
92.
smaller parts. She never did anything.
She was a Sarah Silverman. She did a lot of writing, probably. I'm sure. Yeah. The movie's great. Definitely not one you want to go out and make a night of unless you're going to hang out with people and have beers and talk and shit about it. If you're going to sit down and focus, I'd put your effort into something else.
I would. So this would be a perfect movie. I've talked to you about the Alamo Drafthouse, which is my favorite place in LA to go to a movie.
Go there.
In fact, let's go get them as sponsors. By the way, Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah, they're going to sponsor
a
podcast.
I thought I would throw that one in there. But this would be the perfect movie at an Alamo Drafthouse where you sit down in one of those lounge chairs, you order some food, and you're just like, I'm not going to take this seriously. I just want to have fun.
Yeah,
I just want to smile.
I want to escape.
I just want
to
escape.
get away. Yeah,
this is
definitely.
the version of this is candy.
Yep.
This is like eating candy, but candy's delicious, and it's okay to have candy.
Sometimes.
So I think we both have the same answer here. But would you recommend this movie?
I would recommend it, and I'm going to make my wife watch it very soon.
Hold her down,
it.
tape her eyelids open, and make her watch it.
Oh no! All I got to do is leave beer or something in there.
Yeah.
Not even beer.
Dangle a beer in front of the TV.
Vodka. It's a straw, but it only works if the TV's on.
Yeah. A reverse breathalyzer.
Oh,
yes.
That's called drinking.
Yes.
Well, that was fun.
I love this movie. It's a lot of fun, and honestly, this is one of those movies that if you threw it on, I'm like, yeah, let's watch it.
Yeah. But I'd put it on in my garage if I was working around on stuff. Yeah, because you see something different every time. It's just it's fun. And the people that are like, this is stupid, it's you're too serious.
Yeah, just relax and enjoy the movie.
Yeah, life's not that important.
And as Weird Al says, you just need to be weird sometimes in life.
Yeah,
right.
Which he does it every day.
Yeah, and he's actually been quite successful.
Yeah, I mean, like with the hair and everything. Yeah. So, all right, well, that's it.
So, please visit thisisfunner.com, and we should be better at this.
Yeah, we should be better at this.
We should.
Check out my podcast I do with my wife called Conversation.
seat with us.
It's where they talk about seats.
And food.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, we talk about seats. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a chair review podcast.
You ever see the commercial from Verizon where he got up and sat down in every chair in the stadium? Yeah, we're doing that.
Oh my! What a great idea for a podcast!
I know, it's
it
so
really
compelling.
lends itself to the audible medium.
It does.
Yes.
It's like, seat 12.
Yeah.
Oh, seat 13.
And then people be like, you'll have dedicated fans who are like, oh, I love the seat 12 episode.
Right. And they're gonna be like, oh, remember when you went to the Diamond Club? You sat in the padded seats.
You had to buy the VIP Converse Seat with Us package in order to get level 202. I mean, that was where it got risque.
You got club level.
Yeah.
Everything goes down at club level.
Those are the X-rated episodes. All right, everybody. So enjoy it and go watch UHF. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, Weird Al is way before his time.
And oddly enough, way after his time.
Yeah, he's not dead yet.
No.
You don't like him. All right, catch you later.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
A client met his banker to discuss opening a restaurant in a busy airport. In us, he found a partner that understood the importance of reaching for the sky. First Horizon Bank. Let's find a way. Go to firsthorizon.com/Mac.